Hi, Jeff Munn, creating extraordinary futures, and this week I want to address a question that I got from a viewer, a listener, a reader. I don't remember exactly where it came from, but the question was, what does it mean to be yourself? And I'm going to step back for a second to give some context to that question because I've been writing a fair amount lately. I've been putting videos out a fair amount lately about this idea that all we ever really want is to be okay being ourselves, to feel like we're enough being ourselves, and to feel like there's some small group of people who is going to love and accept me for just being myself. And so that question, what does it mean to be yourself, is one that is begged through the inquiry, right? Through this looking at what is it that we really want. If what I really want is to be myself, then what does it mean to be myself? The answer that I spontaneously came up with in conversation with another coach was not necessarily an answer, but a question or an inquiry, a place to look. And that place to look was, how often do you not say something because you're afraid of what the other person will think about you? Notice that I did not say, how often do you not say something because you're afraid of hurting someone's feelings, or because you want to be kind, or because it's just not appropriate. There are times when it is not appropriate to say what's on our mind, but there are also times where I've had them come up in coaching conversations where I see someone getting in their way in a certain way, and I might hesitate to point it out to them because, maybe they're not a client yet and I want them to like me. Maybe I don't think I have license yet. But it's something about this idea that the other person is going to judge me for saying what it is I have to say. That is what I am pointing to. If you have some kind of obscure interest, I have many of them, and someone says, hey, what did you do this weekend? And you're really into medieval war reenactments, and that's your passion, but you don't say anything because you don't want the person to think you're weird. That's not being yourself. Because if it really is this part of you that, gosh, you really get excited about that, and you're afraid to say it, you're not being yourself. That's a silly example. I don't know if there's anyone in my audience who's into medieval war reenactments. If you are, great, love it. But I'll notice, it's like when I was decided I was going to learn to play the saxophone. How many 58-year-olds decide to learn to play the saxophone? It's a little different, but I really enjoy it. And what I find is, if I'm able to own that, if I'm able to talk about that with people, because I am excited, they get excited. And because they get excited, they're more likely to share some weird, quirky thing about themselves. And so we get to know each other a little bit more human level, a little bit less about the, hey, this is how I want to look, and this is what I want you to think about me, as opposed to, hey, this is what I really am. This is what I'm struggling with. I created a video around a health issue that I had because, I want you to know. I want you to know what that struggle means for me. And B, you might have that health issue yourself and not know about it. By me opening up, it creates a space for you to open up, right? And I think that's what we all want. I think what we want is to feel like I can be true to me. I can be honest about myself, about what's going on for me. And in that process, it will open up something in you. It will create an opportunity for connection between you and me. This idea of authenticity, of connection, of love, of acceptance, there's just nothing like it. And so I don't 100% have it solved what it means to be yourself. I do know there are things that come up for me in each and every moment. And then there is this editor, I'll call him, right? Who says, oh, you can say that, or oh, you can't say that. And what I find over time is that editor dials back a little bit. I get more comfortable just saying, hey, I'm struggling with this. How about you? That it opens up all kinds of things, including just the sense of, wow, did I own that in myself? I must be okay. I'd encourage you to experiment with that. You can experiment in journaling, right? Even the first step often is to admit something to yourself, and then what does it bring up in you? How comfortable are you sharing it with other people? And I'm not talking about inappropriate show up and throw up disclosure on people you barely know, but in those conversations when you have the opportunity to share something that is a little bit personal, that is a little bit different than what you normally share, how often do you stop yourself? And how often do you actually take that next step, that step that feels a little bit daring, a little bit uncomfortable? Take care, and I'll see you next week.